Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighna Upashantaye Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam tam bhaktanam ekadantam upasmahe gnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe krishnam kamalapatraksham punyasravana kirtanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Naumi Narayanam Harim Vyasaya Vishturupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha. So in the series of learning knowledge and wisdom, and also the technique in the Loka Vyavahara, and also the measures that we would have a successful life, because life is always with ups and downs, and we always come across many negative people, and so there is as much sukham, so much dukkham, and even more dukkham. The Vishada is always chasing people, but people want some kind of positive decision so that the Vishada could be answered and we go on with our journey of life. So in this spree, Dhritarashtra is also one victim. I say victim because he is good, he is knowledgeable, and he is different. But he depended upon his 100 sons, more so the eldest son Duryodhana, who is, I don't know why he became jealousy of the Pandavas, the cousin brothers, but yeah, he was trying all ways and means, that Duryodhana, to see that the Pandavas are given trouble. Pandavas are sent out. Pandavas are somehow avoided. So that he has a feeling that he wants to occupy the whole land, no division in the land. But when Pandavas or brothers are there, division is imminent. Though it was divided earlier, but he called for a dice play, Jutam, and the second time it happened. And he, because of the mosam or the cunningness and cleverness of the Shakuni, he has that grip on the Aksha Vidya, so he can control the Akshas, and therefore the entire land of the land and riches of Dharmaraja was robbed on a playing table. So that, and also they were made to go away for forest for 12 plus 1 years. So all this happened as we know the story. But and successfully Pandavas completed the Vanavasam and came back. And when Sanjaya went to communicate the message from Dhritarashtra to Dharmaraja, well, of course, he heard it, and then he went on reviewing or retelling all that difficulties that was mounted or that was placed towards Pandavas. And so he went on chiding, and he just became immensely angry. Dharmaraja should not become angry, but I mean disturbed. When he heard that his father, uncle, has sent a message ultimately that they must continue to go to the forest for another spell of 13 years so that his sons will enjoy the land undivided for a longer time, and so on. So this is the one which is highly injustice, adharmic. And actually, as per the agreement, it is automatic for them. The moment they complete the Vanavasam, anybody, they are eligible to occupy the land and their riches and portions. But because uncle is there, and so they wanted to have a respect for him and get formal consent from him. And that there comes the whole problem. And then, that Sanjaya returned the previous evening and chided Dhritarashtra for his proposals and for his way of living and for his way of behaving with his own children, his own sons, brothers' children, whom he dandled, whom he brought up, to whom he gave education, to whom he was having a good love. But now the children have gone through a great course of suffering and come back, and still he continues to be not affectionate towards them. So the Sanjaya became very angry. And then he called his minister. A whole night he was having a prajagara, namely sleeplessness. So he immediately called in for Vidura, and Vidura, he almost a brother to him, and he's a minister to Dhritarashtra. And so he came and then went on talking about. So there are 500 instruction sheets and description of the nature, description of the loka vyavahara, description of the sattva rajas tamo gunas, description of the Parameswara's grace. More, see, there are so many concepts and subjects that are covered by him in this particular section. So we have covered some already 2 chapters of work, and we are in the 37th chapter, sloka number 35. And therefore, we could stop last session. And now, see, we noticed that, see, he is trying to divide the men. Actually, in Prashnopanishad, Padpalada Maharshi said, Prajapati Mahavishnu, having created the people on the land and everywhere, he just made a broad divisions, 2 divisions, one into section of the gods and another as Manusyaha. Manushinam, but they are called Purushinam. So these are the 2 people, and among these gods and among these human beings, again dissecting categorizations and sects and subsects and philosophy from philosophy point of view, so many things. That's why the looking at the entire of the people upon the land, there is a lot of surprise. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidenam, ascharyavat srunotyanyadena. So the world is still completely filled in surprise and astonishment and wonder. So everybody looks at the other as with wonder, because no 2 people have got same faculties, and they're all having different skills, different approaches, different set of mind, etc. So in the sloka number 33, he talks about the Shraddhaya Paraya Rajan Upanitani Satkrutim Pravruttani Mahaprajna Dharminam Panyakarmanam. So Punyakarminam Dharminam Pravruttani. So Dharma Paravagiva పుణ్యకర్మ కలిగినటువంటి ఉన్నటువంటి ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళ యొక్క బిహేవియర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? దే ఆర్ కాల్డ్ వర్చుయస్ మెన్. అండ్ ఇన్ స్పైట్ ఆఫ్ ది మైండ్ ఆఫ్ ది ధృతరాష్ట్ర, దట్ విదుర హ్యాస్ గాట్ ఎ గ్రేట్ రిగార్డ్ ఫర్ హిమ్. సో వీళ్ళు ఇక్కడ ఏం కల్పిస్తాడు ఆయన్ను? మహాప్రాజ్ఞ అంటాడు. మహాప్రాజ్ఞ అంటే హైలీ ఇంటెలిజెంట్ ఫెలో, నీకు అన్ని తెలుసు విషయాలు. So the virtuous men devoted to the practice of Shraddhaya, Paraya Shraddhaya Rajan. So Paraya Shraddha means not ordinary faith and belief, but they have absolute faith and belief in the practice of righteous things. Dharma paranga panlu cheyali ante వాళ్ళకి చాలా సంతోషము and commitment. They don't swerve from that. And also, whenever they want to entertain the guests that come to the house, they make pre-arrangements. they don't go to shop at that juncture, or they don't go to shop to buy the leaves to serve food, or start kitchen or cooking additional things. All these things don't take place. So they always keep something plus in their house. So desirous of entertaining the guests, they take care and they keep everything ready for offering them. And therefore, in the olden days also, I remember my mother, my grandmother, or anybody's mother. So in the house, they always used to be one or the other guest, expected, unexpected, and all that. If there are 10 people, they will prepare fruit for the 11 or 12 people. So that's why this saddi. If supposing it is not consumed, then it becomes saddi. In Telugu, they call sadhyannam. ఆ సద్యలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ, రుచి ఇంక దేనికి రాదు అంటారు. కాబట్టి తొందరగా స్కూల్కో వాటికో వెళ్ళేవాళ్ళు సద్యన్నం తినేసి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. బికాస్ దెర్ వాస్ నో దెర్ వాస్ నో so the guests, I mean, in olden days, we see, and even today, we call this fridge in English. సో దాన్ని చద్ది పెట్టే అంటారు. అంటే మిగిలిన వస్తువులన్నీ దానిలో పెట్టుకుంటాము, మళ్ళీ దాన్ని వేడి చేసుకొని భోజనం చేస్తుంటాం. దట్ ఇస్ నాట్ ప్రాక్టీస్డ్ అర్లియర్. చల్లగా ఉన్నదాన్నే అలాగే ఎంజాయ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు పూర్వకాలంలో. I mean, earlier time, we all had, when we were all young children, we had that kind of comfort, and no microwave or no heater, no refrigerator, no heater. So, but we were just living a normal life, and we used to be. And moreover, they were our mother and grandmothers. They used to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours, and my whole day. Sometimes they used to be muddy. So that was the kind of life that earlier generation people enjoyed. Therefore, so punyakarmanam dharminam satkrutim upanitani svavruttani mahaprajna. So they used to be very attentive to attend to the guest, and there is no kind of death. The instantaneously they used to serve people. And again in the next sloka, we have also noted that Sushmo Vibharam Drupate Syandano Vai Sektaha Vodhum Na Tathanye Mahojaha Mahijaha Evam Yuktaha Bharasaha Bhavanti Mahakulinaha Na Tathanye. So, Manushyaha. Again, another wonderful example or parallel he is going to give us, saying that he brings into comparison of the sandalwood tree and other trees. So the other trees are much thicker, stronger in their own trunks and all that, but they don't belong to the high families. Only sandalwood tree is very expensive. It is a high family tree, and that is able to bear such kind of weight than compared to the other wood from the trees. Therefore, great cares which ordinary men cannot. That's why, see, ordinary men, those people who belong to noble families, they are always able to bear the weight of great cares. Whereas those people who are ordinary, but they cannot stand, they got jealous, intolerance, and escaping and cheating. All these things will be there. So here he is making a demarcation among men, punya karmanam sadharano janaha. ಈ ಸಾಧಾರಣ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪುಣ್ಯಕರ್ಮ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಸ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ that Vidura is trying to indicate to Dhritarashtra that he should become a punyakarmin, because he is a punyakarma, but make that punyakarma be established further with more and more things, because the world is full of opportunities either to do punya karma or papa karma, because option is there in us but not anywhere else. Therefore it is there. And now he changes the topic. After talking about the division of the families and how righteous people or virtuous men are like that, families, and how ordinary people behave. So the behavior, pravruttani, the word is pravrutti. Nivrutti, pravrutti. Pravrutti is the worldly, and nivrutti is super, spiritual. Therefore, ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తారంటే అందరూ ప్రవృత్తి గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంటారు. Now I am coming to the 35th stanza of 37th chapter. न तन्मित्रं यस्य कोपाद् बिभेति यद्वा मित्रो मित्रं शङ्कितेनापचर्यं यस्मिन् मित्रे पितरि विश्वसि पितरीवाश्वसीता तद्वै मित्रं सङ्गतानीतराणि. And next sloka is यदि चेदपि असम्बन्धो मित्रभावेन वर्तते स एव बन्धुः तान् मित्रं सा గతిః తత్పరాయణం. ఎంత చక్కగా విదురుడు సత్యాన్ని ఎక్స్పోజ్ చేస్తాడు చూడండి. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ అందరూ కూడా సత్యాన్ని దూరం చేసుకోవడానికే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తుంటారు. బట్ సత్యాన్ని కన్ఫర్మ్ చేసుకొని దాని నుంచి ఒక రకమైనటువంటి ఎటిక్వేట్ డెవలప్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటే దట్ ఈస్ రియలీ ఎ గ్రేట్ ఛాన్స్. సో ఇన్ ది శ్లోక నెంబర్ 35 he's defining a friend, and he's defining also who cannot be a friend although they come to behave like a friend. So mitra bruvaha mitraha anta. So mitra bruvaha andre namesake he is a friend, something like those people who are in the Facebook these days. Facebook people will have thousands of friends, but how far they are able to be of utility and use and these things. Use it. Is not a good friend if his anger inspires fear in others, and also he is not a friend if everybody has to obey him, being scared of the anger that fellow has got. So he is no good friend at all. So a friend means he must be an inspirer. He must be one who will be able to support and see that there is a kind of love and affection and instruction and execution and peace and prosperity. All these things are in a good friend. But those friends who are angry, but they will inspire fear in people, and also who just insist out of fear, the friends should be attending on him. And again, another kind is, so you cannot, but those people you can repose confidence as on a father. That is a true friend. See, second line, mitram yasmin pitari visvasati. So like a son trusting the father. If you are able to have that kind of trust, then you are really great. So that's trustworthy people are there. So that's why he said, Pitari Isvasayate. And actually, a father is always believable. Hello? No, no. I sent you the link, the latest. In Adaveda, and you also join. So, in fact, even this father and son relationship is proverbial, even from the Vedas. So, all our rishis have better trust on these people. Therefore, for example, Piteva Putram Abhirakshataadimam. When you make a prayer to Agni, they say Ayurda Agne. So in this mantra from Rigveda, Yajurveda, it will tell you Ayurda Agne. Agni is the Ayurda. That is, he is the provider of health and prosperity to his devotees. Therefore, ultimately, Piteva Putram Abhirakshataadimam. So, like father protects the son all time, so he wants a kind of friend who will be like a father in taking the care of the other person. So, father, and he is said to be the true friend. Otherwise, the all other people who are just business-like, only for sake of some purpose fulfillment, they will be friendly, and beyond it, they will not be friendly at all. So that's why you cannot trust them. Friendship must be could be nominal, and it is only a list of that. See, many times you observe that you observe that people are not very sincere to their friends, Sugriva and Rama, Anjaneya and Sugriva and Rama. So you see in our Ramayanam, what is true friendship like? Even out of emotions, they get disturbed, but still there is some friend who will cow down the emotions and make it. For example, Rama and Lakshmana. Lakshmana is an emotional fellow. When Bharata was coming with large army, he mistook his own brother, Bharata, saying that, oh, Bharata is coming to kill Rama so that he will be a permanent king. That was the kind of thinking that Lakshmana entertained. But then Rama said, no, Babu, our brother Bharata is coming to meet us here because we are not there. And when he reached the palace, we are not there. So he wanted to meet that. Therefore, don't mistake, go and welcome him. So that is the kind of Mitram who has that fatherly instructional love to the friends who are truthful and whose influence he can make out. So that's why Pitaram Asvataddi Mitram Sangatani Itarani. Sangati is only a friendship. And what is Sangati is different from Sneham. In Sanskrit, we use the word Sneham. Sneha means so Sneha means oil. So you know the oil, how sticky it is. It is really difficult to get away from the oil hand. So, but that's what is called Sneham. The others are, you see, among them we have got acquaintances. The friend in English is okay, but even among the friendship, there is the division. So, Sangatani is only contacts. So, in our phone, mobile or elsewhere, you have contacts, 100, 200 contacts are there. But which contacts are live? Therefore, even the mobile wallas, what they do, recent contacts, they have got division again. Recent contacts and invite contacts, etc., etc. So you observe, but that kind of division among the friends. So it is Sangatani. But our Rigveda, the Aikamatya Suktam, the last Suktam of Rigveda 10th Mandala will begin the relationship in this manner. Sangachadvam Sambadadvam Sambho Manam Sijanatam Samanam Vastu Ahavaha Akutihi, etc. So, first of all, if at all you want to be stronger, you must meet people. You must have that kind of socialization. People call it as a social breakup. So in America, in other countries, see, they will separately mention a half an hour gap that is meant for social breakup. Supposing the function starts at 6 o'clock, they will invite all people to the venue by 5:30 sharp, so that people who gather slowly, they will have the sangati. That is, they will have some conversation, acquaintance, and relationship, and so on. So after six, after half an hour or so, taking tea or breaks, biscuits, or some such type of snacks, they will be ready in the auditorium for the function to start at 6 o'clock. That is what is called sangatihi, sangachadvam. And then you have got the scope for sambadadvam, to open the conversation or the dialogue between acquainted friends and then become really converted to each other. So that's why Vidura uses the word sangatihi, na itarani. So sangati is important, and to begin our life of friendship. So it's called nominal. What is sangati? It is called nominal connection. So namesake, you should connect. Who are you? Where are you working? And where from are you coming? What are you? So all these details normally you can just elicit from the new acquaintances. If you love that, you can continue your friendship. And in the next sloka, you see yadicha, and talking about the nature of friendship. In fact, in our literature afterwards, we have got two great useful children book and all adult book or senior citizen book going by the name as Hitopadesham and Panchatantram. So Hitopadesha and Panchatantra, these are the two important books which are containing lot of moral instruction in a very manner, and the Upadeshtaraha Pasavaha Jantavaha. See, supposing a man to advise to another man, the other man will become angry. Hey, who are you to advise me? ఒక తరహా కొవ్వు, ఒక రకమైనటువంటి గర్వము, హేళన, అండ్ ఆల్ దట్ విల్ బి దేర్. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ది హ్యూమన్ టెండెన్సీ. యూ కాంట్ హెల్ప్ ఇట్. అని ఎవరు నాకు చెప్పేదానికి అని ఒక ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. సో यदि चेप्यपि असम्बन्धो मित्रभावेन वर्तते स एव बन्धुः तन्मित्रं सा गतिः तत्परायणम्. You look at it, so beautiful that need not be related. See, relations are not as good as that of the friends that we have got. Relations do not come to rescue to us or help to us in respect of need. That's why a proverb in English tells you a friend in need is indeed a friend. And that's exactly is reflected. So look at it. Yadicha idapi asambandha mitrabhavena vartate. If there are sangatis, though they are not blood related or otherwise related, no matter if they remain as friends. And he becomes the bandhu only, and he becomes the support and help, and he becomes, in true sense, the friend. సో బంధువుల్లోనే మనము స్నేహాన్ని చూడాలి అంటే ఇంపాసిబుల్. బంధువులు ఆర్ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్, రైట్ ఆఫ్టర్ ది టైమ్ ఆఫ్ మహాభారత రామాయణ, ద రిలేషన్షిప్ ఈస్ స్టోరెన్. And if it is a relationship taken as a cloth, it is torn. Therefore, torn relationship is, but in Ramayana, the relationship is really sweet. And even in Vedas also, you see the sweetness and also bandha, the sneha bandha among relations. Now that relationship has become loosened, and relations are more dangerous than the friends. That's why Vidura long back in Mahabharata cautioned that real friends are not actually relations, but they are different. But real friends, they behave as though they are related to you, and they are your mentors, and they are real refugees, and they are the protectors to you. So here you observe there are 100 sons to Dhritarashtra. Among all 100 sons are not equally connected to or affectionate to his parents. Secondly, nor even all the other brothers are affectionate towards the eldest brother, Duryodhana. And many brothers do not like the manner how he was behaving towards Pandavas and all that. And so he has only a select fellows among his brothers. Dusyasana is the only fellow who has joined into the WhatsApp group of Duryodhana. The other fellows, other brothers are no more connected so much. So we don't get much information about the other brothers. And we get information about one fellow who is called Vikarna among 100 brothers of that. So he is very much against Duryodhana's move. And he understands the Pandavas' goodness, and therefore he doesn't much cooperate. But what to do? As Budra said, out of fear, he remains obedient to Duryodhana, not out of real affection or anything, or he just acts according to Duryodhana out of fear, and that is no mitram at all. So Vidura is trying to impart the kind of relationship, and only bandhutva is not the linking factor, but it is manavatvam, humanism. So any human being should be interested in another human being. That is really a great one. That's why it is said that a friend who has got a determined mind, a friend who is not a relation even, he is indeed a friend. So he is trying to define, discuss, and also describe among the categories among the people, and especially when they behave like the friend. And now we are going into the next one, that is the 37th mantra or 37th sloka of the chapter 37, where again, what is the, and again he just spares a good amount of time to talk about the friends. So he wants to impress. Actually, his sons are not his friends. They want to ruin, and they want to dethrone. They want to behave in such a manner that they should get killed in the war by the enemies, especially Pandavas. So enmity with Pandavas is a drain on the happiness and prosperity of Duryodhana. But he doesn't care. See, in Bhagavad Gita, you observe in the first chapter, Duryodhana comes and talks to Dronacharya and others there, introducing all the heroes on his side, who are all so ready to fight and die even in the war for sake of Duryodhana. మదర్థే త్యక్త జీవితాహ, నా కోసరం వీళ్ళందరూ చావడానికి కూడా సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నారు. అటువంటి వాళ్ళతో నీవు యుద్ధం చేయాలి వాళ్ళకి. అని చెప్పి ద్రోణాచార్యుడికి ది సేనాధిపతి ఆర్ ద యంగ్స్టర్ gives a confidence that. And he also tells other people that Bhishma to be protected by 10 sets of sainyas. See that Bhimamevabhirakshantu ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಭೀಷ್ಮಮೇವಾಭಿರಕ್ಷಂತು, ಭೀಷ್ಮಾಚಾರ್ಯರನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ the confidence in Duryodhana. Whereas as a opposite contrast, you see in Arjuna. Arjuna looking at all his kith and kin, uncles, nephews, etc. ನೋಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ he simply breaks down emotionally and comes down and sits on the ground and say, I'm not going to fight. I don't want Rajyam. I don't want to become king. I don't want to rule that land which is bloodshed. రక్తసిక్తమైనటువంటి ఈ భూమిని నేను పరిపాలించడం ఇంపాసిబుల్. సో దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వైరాగ్యం అండ్ ఆల్ దట్ కేమ్ టు అర్జున. అండ్ కృష్ణ వాజ్ దేర్ ఫార్చునేట్లీ ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు enhance the courage in him, the weakness in him. And so Klaibyam and Vishada and Hrudaya Daurbalyam, well, these are all the things that will grip action in an individual. Therefore, here, and next in 37th sloka, you observe Chalachittasya Vaipumsaha Vruddhananupasevanaha Sevataha Pariplavametena Adhruvo Mitra Sangraha. So, Mitra Sangraha, that is making friendship, is not at all encouraged, because a person who is of restless disposition, chalachittam, if your mind is not fixed, that's why sthitadhihi muniruchyate antare. Sthitadhihi, your intelligence or your thinking must be constant and reposed, no fickleness at all. So if your mind is unsteady, and who will not consult the elders for any advice, and who is restless in disposition, these fellows fail to make friends. Well, our time is going up, less than 1 minute. So I stop here, and I have been asking Karanam to increase the time by 10 more minutes, but I don't know, he was not able to do it. But anyway, we get some trupti, and if at all he admits sometime next, we'll be able to continue another 10 minutes. Om Swasti Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.